my god, I can't believe it happened again. GTA 6 has been leaked once more. Yes friends, a new GTA 6 gameplay leak has surfaced, and this time from a reliable source. And if this turns out to be real, GTA 6 will bring the biggest shakeup in the series' history. Seamless character switching, even outside of missions. A limited and complex weapon inventory like in Red Dead Redemption 2, with a stash in the trunk. And your body? It changes just like it did back in GTA San Andreas, only this time it's more advanced. Jason also gets a kind of Delta ability, Lucia too. But hers is different. Even underwater, myths and secrets are waiting for you. And trailer number 2 was just the tip of the iceberg because it only shows us chapters 1 to 3. In short, this leak changes everything. So friends, before we really get started with this video where I'll give you leaks, facts and evidence, I want to let you know this is already the second part. If you want to see the first part, the link is down in the video description. So now to the topic. Where do the leaks come from? And can this source even be trusted? Yes, the source is Gamerol. And Gamerol is basically a GTA site? Yes. And this site deals extensively with GTA 6, whether it's insiders, leakers, or any kind of facts. And it's said that the site has direct contact with Rockstar Games employees. And the biggest GTA 6 YouTuber, TGG, has also gotten in touch with this site. Yes, and some information has really come to light that is very interesting for the future of GTA 6. Because it's not just about the graphics, story or mechanics, but also the gameplay in general. Yes, and Gamerol has already proven in the past that he really knows what he's talking about because his sources were able to predict whether there would be both a female and a male character. But that's not all. Even the names Jason and Lucia were predicted in advance. Yes, and this very insider or leaker has now spoken out again. So, let's get to today's first point. Character switching offers a new option where Jason and Lucia can meet and you can switch between them instantly, even during joint activities or missions. Yes, this character switching is all well and good, and we had this character switching for the first and last time in GTA 5. There, we actually had 3 main characters, Michael, Trevor, and Franklin. Yes, and with these characters, we could also switch back and forth during various missions. To be clear, even in the prologue, that is the very first mission in GTA 5, this was possible. Yes, this system was celebrated and has now basically been adopted in GTA 6, just a bit revised. This means we can also be out and about alone with Jason or Lucia, and maybe there will be an opportunity to secretly drive to the shoe store. In any case, we can definitely switch back and forth. We haven't received any official material on this yet, because I assume that will only be shown in the actual gameplay trailer. But if we look at the past leaks, we can see in this scene how smoothly everything already works in this version. Yes? And that makes us look forward to the future even more. Leak number 2. Limited weapon inventory. But weapons can be stored in the car's trunk. Yes, this might also seem familiar to some of you, especially if you think of Red Dead Redemption 2. In Red Dead Redemption 2, there were no cars unless you had modded them in. But instead, you had real horsepower, because you could store your weapons on your horse. Of course, this isn't just about realisms. It does seem a bit unrealistic to carry all your weapons at once, but it also adds a tactical and strategic element because you really have to think carefully. What do you want to start with and which weapons are better suited for it? If you just want to rob a random civilian or police officer, then a mask and a small pistol will do the trick. However, if you want to rob a bank, then of course you'll need heavier firepower. As I said, you have to think strategically, which weapons for which situation. And if you do happen to make the wrong choice, it's not a problem at all. You just go to the parking lot, make sure there are no cops nearby, and simply switch out your weapons. We've already seen this weapon switching in a cutscene on the Rockstar Games website, and there you can clearly see Jason and Lucia grabbing things from the trunk. What's interesting, and the OGs among you will know this, is that getting weapons from the trunk is something we already know from GTA 4, because if you were tight with Jacob, he'd let you buy weapons directly from him. Third point, gaining and losing weight as a game mechanic. Yeah, we're all feeling this warm weather and we look down and think, man, it's about time to lose some weight. And every year it somehow ends up being too late. Well, forget about real life. We're waiting here for the GTA 6 gameplay. And apparently in GTA 6 it will be possible to lose or gain weight. And in what way you do it is up to you. Fries, burgers, all the way then you'll end up a chubby cheek. But if your motto is, it doesn't have to taste good, it just has to work, then you'll pack on muscle, and if you do nothing at all, you'll turn into a stick figure. Yes, and if we take a closer look at the scene from trailer number 2, we can see Jason bench pressing, and in the official screenshots of Lucia, you can see her boxing a punching bag with an indoor gym visible in the background as well. And now, let's smoothly transition to the leaks. If you look at Jason's physique in this leak and then compare it to this other leak, you can definitely notice that Jason's body changes. Yes, and we had pronounced physical changes in GTA San Andreas. Because there you could really take on any shape. Yes, and some people didn't notice it, but Red Dead Redemption 2 also had this simplified mechanism. Because if you didn't eat anything in the morning and went hungry as Arthur, you would lose weight. And this weight loss also affected the gameplay because you would automatically become weaker and have less stamina. Point number 4. Jason has a dead-eye ability that slows down time and highlights weak points. Lucia has a similar but weaker ability. Yes, while the internet is cracking up and making all sorts of memes about Lucia's ability, please don't laugh at this point, otherwise you're being misogynistic, okay? No, stop laughing. Jesus is watching you. Jokes aside, Lucia must have some kind of ability besides the jiggly wiggly effect. But when it comes to Jason, I can definitely show you a leaked recording because there we see Bree walking through the store. By the way, that's a pawn shop. And with this ability that you activate, which will probably all happen in slow motion in the final version, yes, with this ability, he can identify items that have value. Or in other words, he can spot objects that he can steal or that pose a certain level of danger. And by danger, I mean the surveillance camera because that lights up as well. So now let's talk about the scope of the story. Yes, in the last video, I already told you that apparently 5 chapters are planned for GTA 6. For comparison, Red Dead Redemption 2 had 8 chapters. But don't be alarmed, the number of chapters doesn't mean anything about how long the chapters will actually be. Because rumor has it right now that the story of GTA 6 is supposed to last about 100 hours, and here's the interesting part. What we saw in trailers 1 and 2 only covered chapters 1 to 3. That's because chapters 4 and 5 are currently not finished yet and are still in development. So that would now mean that GTA 6 is actually not completely finished yet. Yeah, and whether chapters 4 and 5 really just count as fine-tuning, I doubt that. Next point. Underwater areas contain treasures and secrets. Yes, Rockstar Games is especially known for myths, and no matter which game you pick, Rockstar Games always fills it with Easter eggs and secrets. And if we now take a closer look at the previous installment, GTA 5, and explore the underwater world there, for example, in the frozen version, we see an alien that's frozen in ice, and that's right in the very first mission. And if you want to dive even deeper, like with a submarine, you can even find the UFO. Yes, and exactly this kind of myth is supposed to be especially prominent in GTA 6. And which myth, aside from this werewolf myth, is even more interesting is the Bermuda Triangle. Yes, in real life, it's a very, very mystical place. Feel free to look it up on Google to see everything that's happened there. And if we were to get this Bermuda Triangle in-game, it would mean that we would have at least 3 large islands. Plus, Rockstar Games could add a giant monster in that area. Yeah, folks, as I said, that was already the second part. If you want a third part, let me know, because in the future you can expect not only more leaks, no, there are also things that were known from the mega leak that have already been scrapped. Which mechanics those are, I will definitely tell you about in the future. And whether Gamer Royal will really stay Gamer Royal or turn into Gamer Troll, only time will tell. So I'd say go ahead and leave a like, subscribe to this channel, and activate the bell so you don't miss anything on this topic.